What's going on, YouTube? This is Jim Afanis, and today I'm going to be discussing Heroes of the Storm. In the background, I'll be throwing down on the Tomb of the Spider Queen, the newest map that came out in the March 24th patch. But before I deep dive into all the patch notes, and there are quite a few, and I will not read them all, I just want to say one thing about Blizzard's patching system. I am not a big fan of it. That's not to say the Battle.net service is broken or anything like that. I just feel that Blizzard's patching as a whole is way too extreme. It always goes from nerf it to hell or buff it to hell. There's never an in-between. And as a World of Warcraft vet since the Wrath of the Lich King days, I can tell you I've seen this quite a lot, where my rogue would go from god status to peasant status to somewhere in between patch and patch and patch. And I understand when you get into the competitive multiplayer, balance is very difficult. And I do have to say that I do commend Blizzard, at least on StarCraft, because I feel like they have a pretty good balance in that game, but Heroes is still just really working it out. And when you read through these patch notes, my God, they've completely gutted some characters. Some characters have risen from the ashes. And I'm not really sure why they're such extremes. I mean, why go from something so little to so high? I talk about that actually in my Destiny videos, where I say, you know, the shotgun went from double damage all of a sudden. Like, where did that come from? Why not, you know, maybe 1 1/4, 1.5, work your way up, but whatever. Anyways, I'm not a big fan of it, and unfortunately, these minutes of these notes basically confirm that. So let's dive into it. The big news, obviously, is besides the new map, we got the Banshee Queen herself, Sylvanas Windrunner. Now, just like every other new hero that has come out in Blizzards of the Storm, Heroes of the Storm, rather. Blizzards of the Storm, I like that. That should have been the name. She's OP as hell when she comes out, just like Azmodan was, just like Anubarak was, just like the Lost Vikings were, just like Jaina was, just like Thrall was. All these new characters, they get thrown in the mix and they're gods. And she is no different. My biggest thing is I see people playing her like an assassin. She is not an assassin. She's really good at pushing lanes. She's squishy, but she's good at pushing lanes. Especially with her ability to stun a target for a couple seconds, like a tower, and basically infinitely burn it down. I've already seen the crazy build where she can burn down ammo and basically drain towers within seconds. They're going to patch that, you know they are. But hey, while it lasts, you might as well go to town on it. But she's cool, and I'm glad to see she made it into the game. She's a big enough character in the World of Warcraft, or the Blizzard universe, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm happy she's around, because I think she's a great addition. And I'm waiting for the day where we see Cairn or Blaine Bloodhoof, but I'm sure they're coming soon. So you got Sylvanas running around, basically one man crewing it. Not even OP Gazlo can stop her at this point. That's how insanely powerful she is. Another big thing that they changed was the user interface. And this is something I always have mixed feelings about, because I kind of feel like the user interface is like such low-hanging fruit. It's like, I don't care right now. Fix the core mechanics of the game, and let's not worry about the Gucci stuff. But man, I gotta say, I'm gonna eat my words on this. That user interface is slick. Every time I think it can't get better, it does. So just overall, the way the game is set up, the way the graphics are, they just look really sharp, and it's really intuitive, and it's very simple to understand what you're doing, who's your hero, what game do they come from. It helps you figuring out your dailies. It's just a very clean system. Heroes have been increased. Heroes now go from level 10 to 20, which is cool. And you get additional gold per hero level, which is, you know, another great way to get some more gold. Level 10, you now get a 7-day stim pack. A lot of us were grandfathered into this because our player levels were 40, which was max. That's been increased, by the way. So we got a ton of gold for all the player levels. Team League has now been unlocked. I haven't had a chance to play that, but we already formed our team, so already got some good team names out there. I'm kind of excited about that. And, you know, we'll just basically, anyone who surpassed all these, it was like raining. It was like Christmas in March. We got a bunch of gold. We got the stim pack. It was great. Team League, I mentioned before. This was something I talked about in a previous video, but it's basically what I like to call the quote-unquote Fabulous Thunderbirds rule. And for any of the old WWF fans, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, the Fabulous Thunderbirds were a tag team where 3 guys were on the team, but only 2 of them represented the belt at any time. So Team League is you can have a roster of more than 5 heroes. You could have a pool. I think it's 9. And as long as any 5 are playing, the whole team levels up. So that's kind of cool. You don't have to feel bound like, hey, my 3 friends aren't on, better make a new team. I can't tell you the number of teams I made in StarCraft because we had different combinations of friends online at certain times. I talked about the menu, the way how clean the interface is. I think it's really, really sharp. They finally added end-game score screen, so you don't have to hit tab before the game ends to see what you did, which is great. So you can see, your damage and how you did and all the goal totals and at the end. And that's smart. I don't know why it wasn't done before, but it's in there now. And I am on board with that, and I love it. They, like I said, some good. I'm just scanning through the minutes here, or the notes. Changed a little bit of art. They did some hero animation. Some of the bars on the bottom, like the actual icon itself, looks a little different. Some nice polish on some of the abilities. And then each of the heroes got some, buffs or nerfs or whatever you want to call it. But man, I don't know. Some of the characters I've played with, I gotta say, they got hurt. They got hurt really, really bad. Yeah, not good, not good. Uther comes to mind, and I'm shocked with what they did with Uther. He is so different than what he was. And if you watch my video I posted about a month ago about my love letter to Uther, I'm sorry, dude, but I'm breaking it off with him. He's not the Uther I remember. He's just nerfed in so many ways. And yeah, I know people say, well, geez, we're just changing the way he is. It's not that he's nerfed. It's just he's a different character now. You have to learn how to play him. Well, yeah, I get it. It's a beta or an alpha or whatever the hell we want to call it today. And I understand that. We're going to be getting some, some new stuff. But at the same time, I mean, does it really make sense to fundamentally change the way he is? I mean, he got completely gutted. It's just a new guy. I don't like the way his stuns work now. I don't like his ultimate. His ultimate stinks. His healing range has been decreased. Some of the abilities that made Uther so great, like when you had his channeled light spell and it hit multiple targets in a row, it would get stronger each time. That doesn't come on until late game now. And I don't know. I'm just not happy with it. I'm just scanning through some of the patch notes. Everybody got minor stuff, like Diablo's cooldowns decreased. Elite Tauren Chieftain has a new talent at his like a level 20 talent. Falstad's abilities are decreased. Lily's Jug of 1,000 Cups will no longer heal Nova or Abathur's, like little stuff that's dumb. Murky's Egg no longer grants experience, when it's killed, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? But, I mean, just reading through these, they're minor changes, and that's stuff that you would expect to see. We're doing a little bit of polish. Hey, this ability's too long. This ability's too short. Stitch's health was too much. We were reducing it. Sergeant Hammer got nerfed to beyond belief. I mean, literally a glass cannon now. She lost so much health. I've been watching her play, and boy, she fell off the whole arena tournament thing. I mean, she's just so weak now. It's hard to get anything going with her. You have to very, very different play style with her. Thrall's mana lightning increase. His mana cost increased for his chain lightning. Tychus had his abilities renamed. Whatever. Kind of dumb, but okay. Tyrion Whisperwind had a pretty significant change. How she works. A lot of her talents have been removed and replaced. Although I don't think that's a bad thing, because I don't think she was all that great to begin with. I mean, she was a ranged stun, which was kind of nice, but her healing blew. Her damage blew. So she was kind of like not really good at anything. And now it seems like they've kind of retooled her where she seems like she'll be a little more formidable foe. I already talked about Uther. I'm shocked at what they did to Uther. Zeratul got some minor changes. They did some bug changes, and then they did some balancing to the maps. So some of the way the maps play out are a little bit different. Blackheart's Bay is a nice change. The doubloon chests will now actually represent how many coins are in there by putting segment bars in their health, which is great. The Dragon Knights are now more resistant to disable effects on the Dragon Dragon Shrine. The Haunted Mines. This is an interesting one. The Grave Golem health and damage will no longer scale after the haunted mines have been open for at least 4 minutes, and that 60 skulls have been collected. So this is basically a change that's been made in order to prevent situations in which a team would leave a single skull in the haunted mine in order to gain more golem power, which I've seen that exploit. I think that's actually a really good change. The power difference between lay golems has been reduced in situations where there's a large skull count disparity. And the first round of golems are reduced in both health and it looks like damage. Garden of Terror, the player-controlled Garden Terrors are now more resistant to disable effects. Their overgrowth healing is, their movement speed is now equal to their hero movement speed, which is interesting. And their overgrowth ability now deals a little bit more damage. So the structure damage is the same, but it kind of changes the way it ticks to the mercenaries and the minions. Sky Temple's been nerfed slightly. Mercenary scaling's been reworked slightly. And health has been reduced by 10% across the board on the gate, the tower, the town hall, and the wall. Nexus remains the same. So I don't know if that's an effort to make the game a little bit faster. It's kind of weird that you would, you know, you're reducing everything. So you would think, in a sense, maybe it would make it slower. But, I mean, I'm getting 40-minute games. So, you know, you're going to reduce Sky Temple. You're going to make the temple do less damage. But then you're going to turn on and make the wall even weaker. Doesn't that kind of... I don't know. Whatever. It just seems weird to me. Anyways, not a big fan overall of this patch, I gotta say. Major change. It's going to take a couple days to get used to this. I mean, this is just my initial shock and awe reaction to what's going on. But, yeah, too many radical changes on too many characters. Really, Uther more than anything really bums me out because I really did like the way he played. And I feel like, again, Blizzard's just still not getting it. They're putting these new characters into the fray, and they're just God modes. I mean, every game's got a Sylvanas, and she's just wrecking towers. And just, I mean, it's taken 2 or 3 guys to drop her and bring her down. And they'll fix it. I know they'll fix it. I know it's a beta. I can't complain. But I'm gonna. So anyways, that's what I got. Let me know what you guys think about the patch. Are you happy with the way Blizzard does this stuff? Do you feel it's too knee-jerky, like, you know, we're going in extremes? Or are you happy with it? I mean, maybe you think Uther's the man now. I don't know. I don't, but hey, maybe you do. So let me know. Thanks for watching. As always, do me a favor, comment, rate, subscribe. I'm going to be doing more hero videos. I got Bloodborne today. I'm going to be jumping into that soon. Trying to sort out this Heroes mess. Destiny, we're going to be doing more raids here soon. Got some more raid members. So a lot more gaming news and videos coming soon on my channel. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I appreciate the feedback, good or bad, as long as it's constructive. Saying I'm fat is not a constructive comment. Thank you. As always, I will see you guys and Gimped Uther on the other side.